women are pretty fucking smart. They really are. And if men would just, I know men you want to fix. I know you do. It's like, it's part of your internal, and women are really fucking smart, even when you don't think we are. So it is very, very common for women to initiate a conversation and try to figure out the problem that they're having that is driving a lot of emotion. And men are like, cool, here's a problem to solve and I can be of value and service to my woman. We're just going to fix it because I don't know the feeling side of things, but like I can fix things. And then that creates conflict with you and your woman because she doesn't actually want you to fix it. She doesn't want you to fix it. So first steps first, the best thing you can do for your partner. And again, if she doesn't receive it, she's got her own work to do, right? But it's to ask, do you want me to fix it? Do you want advice or do you want me to listen? And it is so hard when she says, just listen, because that will be 99% of the time she'll just want you to listen, which means we're not fixing. We're not fixing, because here's what happens. And this may happen for men too. I'm pretty sure it does for you guys, but you guys have different conversations with other men, right? And so you're not used to this dynamic with women where we just need to speak it out and dump all of our thoughts and our feels about it. And then we actually get clarity just in the process of externally processing. Some people are internal processors. A lot of us are external processors, which means we have a problem in our head and it's just cycling. And there is something that happens when we switch from the emotional part of our brain that's keeping that thought looping to having it go to the prefrontal cortex where we need to form language and logic it out so somebody else can understand it. And it may not make sense to you, but that is her processing, right? So she is just dumping all of these different ideas, all of these different problems, which may be involving the man, right? Or the partner, right? I'm processing it out and I'm coming up with, I'm not quite sure what the problem is, but I need to get out all of the ideas that I have. And men, the best gift you can give your partner is to not take it personally and just be what we call a empathetic witness to her experience. Meaning we understand she's upset. Okay, we understand she's having feelings about this. We may not understand the feelings, but we understand she is having feelings. It is her thing that she's having. And my job is to just hold space, which is a woo-woo way of saying, shut the fuck up, and just listen. And active listening, not I'm on my phone scrolling and yep, okay, honey, or, like the TV's on and like I'm every 5 words, I'm like, yeah, okay. It is eye contact. We turn off the distractions. I'm here. Give it what you got, right? And there are men who are amazing at this. I have quite a few friends who are great at holding space when it's like, hey, I've got a problem. Now, this is not me attacking the partner, right? That's the woman's work to do, is that it's not an attack, right? And they're going to have to learn how to regulate their own emotions where it is not being borderline abusive. Because look, I know women do that too. Like we just spit out our emotions. We've repressed it for so long and now we're exploding and you're the recipient of it. And that gets to be very conflicting and not very fun for either side. So it is emotional regulation on both sides where we don't go into our defense mechanism so we can actually have connection through conflict and communication. Okay. So to this commenter's point, when you go to solve a problem, 99% of the times you're not actually going to know what the actual problem is. Therefore, you're now going to be the problem because you're trying to fix it or you don't understand me, right? It's because you actually don't understand the problem because we're still trying to navigate what the actual problem is. What is the actual thing that we're bothered by? And I can almost guarantee that it is something she is afraid of. It is a fear. She is worried about something, a fear of abandonment or rejection or some version of that, no matter what the scenario is. Okay, but she needs to process it out instead of repressing it. Because when she represses it, ooh, a emotionally repressed woman is unpleasant for all involved, including her. So what you can do is hold space, meaning we're just going to listen. You have my attention, okay? Asking her, do you want me to fix? Do you want some advice or do you want me to listen? If she doesn't know, that's her work to do. You need to communicate with me what your needs are. If she says, I don't know, I just need to talk it out, that means you listen, okay? Default to listening. When in doubt, default to listening, okay? The next steps, and women, back me up if you think that this would be helpful, okay, is how can I support you? What would you like to have happen? What is it you want? The amount of times I will get on a call with a client and one of the first things I ask is, well, what do you want? They don't know because they've never given themselves the opportunity to have a want, mostly because they're people pleasers or they're worried about rejection if they actually advocate for their wants. So part of that is, what do you want, right? I don't want to feel this way, whatever that way is. Cool. How do we get there, right? If she can't problem solve in that moment, You can offer some advice by asking permission first. Like, would you like my insight? Would you like my input? She may not want it. She may want it, right? Doesn't resonate? Cool. She may just need to freaking sleep on it, because guess what? When you sleep, your emotions come down, right? Your emotions have a peak and then they decline, right? So if she is in the heat of the emotion, she is working in the problem of the brain that is all emotion and not logical. And you're there in your logical brain trying to be rationalized with emotion. You can't do that. You got to solve for the emotion first. She may need to sleep. She may need some food. She may need just a big old bear hug, right? Part of that is co-regulating, right? She needs to be responsible for her emotional regulation. You need to be responsible for your emotional regulation. And when both parties are good at doing that, right, and it takes practice, you can also co-regulate. When one of you starts to spout off or is having a really hard time and the other one's neutral, you can help bring them down. Right? This is not codependency where the other person is dependent on you and needs you to regulate. They have their own individual skill sets to be able to regulate. And sometimes we need help for somebody to help bring us down, not in like a bring me down, but I need to regulate my emotions because I'm popping off. Okay. So I don't know if that helps with anything that you've got going on in your life, but your gift to your partner, the world, and most importantly yourself, is your own ability to emotionally regulate and be able to communicate your wants and needs. And I didn't know how to do that in my marriage. I don't think my ex did either. I don't know if he still does. But breath work, somatic release breath work, helped me to get the feels out in a safe container, right? To be able to use my breath to release repressed emotions so that I could have a tool to regulate myself when I was really dysregulated and scared and afraid or angry and upset. Learn to have a healthy relationship with my emotions and not project them onto other people. And also to be able to understand my emotions, to be able to advocate for my wants and needs. So if you want to learn about breath work, I got you. I got you. DM me, comment. Let's talk about it because it's such a beautiful gift. And hey, my name's Tara, and I'm on a mission to create a self-aware army because it's lonely in these self-aware streets. And if you like this stuff and you would prefer not to be on TikTok to do it, I have a podcast called Unblock Your BS on YouTube, Spotify, and Apple Podcasts that we deep dive this kind of stuff. So check it out.